All right, so we've seen the day-to-day, but this level of desperation, this constant violence, it's not just a bunch of random, isolated incidents. As we're about to see, all of these things are symptoms of a much bigger problem, a system that's in a state of collapse.
And this is a crucial point. The problems are not just with the inmates. Get this, an initiative called Operation Clean House actually led to the arrest of 22 employees and contractors. For what? For smuggling contraband. I mean, that points to some seriously deep-rooted corruption within the very staff that's supposed to be maintaining order.
And that corruption is happening alongside a massive staffing crisis. The jail is just dangerously understaffed. A consulting firm, which, by the way, the county paid nearly $375,000 for, confirmed it. They said the jail needs at least 100 more officers just to operate safely.
But this is where you get this crazy administrative standoff. You've got the county's official stance saying the jail is fully staffed with 123 guards. But then you have the sheriff on the other side saying, no, the place is critically understaffed and it's not safe. And an independent consultant agrees with the sheriff. So without the budget for more guards, the sheriff's hands are basically tied. And the chaos just keeps going. And what makes everything even worse is a legal system that's totally backed up. We're talking pandemic-era delays, a shortage of public defenders, the whole shebang. Now, the Sixth Amendment is supposed to guarantee you a speedy trial. Federal guidelines say around 70 days. But the reality in Clayton County, inmates say they wait for months, sometimes for years. There was one guy who was held for 4.5 years. He was ultimately acquitted of his original charges. The only reason he's still in jail is for new crimes he was charged with while trying to defend himself inside. Just think about that.
So, what's the tragic, inevitable result of all these failures? Well, you can see it right here in the data. Inmate deaths have literally doubled in 2024 alone. This incredibly sharp, tragic increase, which was reported by Capital B Atlanta, has now, not surprisingly, triggered federal investigations into the facility.
And we have to remember, these numbers, these systemic issues, they're not just abstract concepts, right? They have a real, tangible, and honestly, a devastating impact on actual people and their families.
Let's talk about the human cost of this chaos. Take this story, for example. There's a young man in there who grew up in the foster care system. He has no family to call for help, and he's been stuck inside for months. And the only thing standing between him and freedom, the bond amount, is just $250. But now, look at this. It costs taxpayers about $100 a day to keep that same man incarcerated. So, do the math. We spend more to keep him locked up for just 3 days than it would cost to just pay his bond and let him go. It's a perfect example of a system that just seems to defy all economic logic, and it's a huge part of that nationwide debate we're having about cash bail.
And, of course, the cost goes way beyond just the taxpayers. This quote here from an inmate's girlfriend really captures that ripple effect. She says, it's affected everything, financially, our relationship, even with our kids. You see how families who are often already struggling are just stretched to their absolute breaking point, both financially and emotionally, just trying to support someone on the inside.
All right, so we've seen the day-to-day, but this level of desperation, this constant violence, it's not just a bunch of random, isolated incidents.